You all know how much I absolutely love makeup. I created an entire channel around it. Makeup is something that has become so near and dear to me, and the process I think can be super meditative and healing, can be fun. I just think that makeup as a concept, makeup as a practice is so multifaceted. It means something different to everyone, and that's just one of the reasons why I really like it. But I think that sometimes you get in a makeup rut, and that's what this video is about. If you find yourself in a makeup rut, this video is for you. Whether or not you are trying to fall in love with your makeup collection again, or you're just trying to fall in love with makeup again, I hope that this video will be inspiring. I hope it'll be fun. This is so different than what I typically do on my channel, but I hope you guys enjoy it. We all get in makeup ruts. We get in ruts in so many different places in our life. Again, I have a lot of like more utilitarian tips, but also some more like meditative questions and thoughts. It's definitely a kind of mix of things. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I also found this article that was part of the inspiration for this video, so I'll leave it down below. You guys should definitely go check it out. It's more about like clothes and wardrobe, whereas this is more about makeup looks, kind of looking at your collection, all of that good stuff. Something I think some of you know, especially if you are a longtime viewer of my channel, I do a lot of creative writing, more specifically nonfiction. Something that I remember from one of my first creative writing classes that I ever took in high school was my teacher asked us all to write down our trip to school. Like, what do we remember? And so many of us could not remember a freaking single thing. It was like, got into the car, got onto the bus, went into class, sat in homeroom. It was really an exercise in being present and attentive to the things around you. You know, really being present and aware of where you are in the moment. For me, I really believe that the world is begging for our attention. You know, we just need to lean in and look around us. Inspiration, you can just find it in so many different things. If you're feeling like you're in a little bit of a makeup rut, try going on a walk or even listening to a song that you really enjoy. Write down, take a picture of 5 things that you just find particularly interesting. Doesn't need to be like beautiful, just something that kind of caught your eye for whatever reason. The more we start paying attention to the world around us and the little things that kind of take us into the present and just grab your attention for a moment, the more we start thinking about those things, the more they come. Editing Amanda here. What I'm trying to say at this juncture of the video, I feel like I didn't do a great job, is that inspiration comes from our lives and we need to be present within our lives in order for inspiration to come. And once you get a little taste of inspiration, once you get a little bit of that present feeling in your life, you're paying attention, the easier it is for those things to start happening more naturally. So that's what I was trying to say. It's definitely a practice that you have to do pretty consistently. It's like a very general kind of inspiration tip that I have, but it really applies, especially when you're thinking about makeup looks. If you're just like, I can't figure out what kind of makeup look to do, you can go on a walk, take a picture of a flower that you really enjoy the color, mix some eyeshadows, and kind of just see what comes from it. That's like a very straightforward way of doing something different. This next tip will be specifically helpful if you're trying to get re-inspired by the makeup that you already have. Try mixing textures and colors that you normally wouldn't mix and just see what happens. A great example of that would be using something like Benetint, for example, using a tint product mixed in to another texture. So for example, you could take a little bit of your lip tint, put it into a lip gloss that you wish had more color or just had a little bit more of a juicy effect that lasted longer. Add a little bit of this into it and you'll kind of create a new product. I think sometimes we're just dying for a new formulation rather than a whole new product. And mixing products can be a really fun way of experiencing a new formulation without necessarily buying a whole new product. Another great example of this, and something that I just talked about over on Instagram, is using your blush, your powder blush on your eyes. This is like super basic, but I think it's especially helpful when you are dealing with shades that you don't normally reach for. Like Dior Mahogany, for example. You can use this on the cheeks, on the eyes, and on the lips all in one. It's such a multifaceted product. And this one product for like a whole look feels like super inspired to me whenever I play around with it. So if you have a particular shade of a product that you're not using a lot of, try using it within a different step in your routine just to see what you think about it. I think a lot of this is kind of like breaking through the comfort zone of a makeup collection that we already have. Now, this tip is something that I know might sound a little bit weird, but I really think it's so true. Instead of focusing on buying new makeup, try buying a new makeup bag. I know it sounds bizarre. The thing is sometimes we just need to see our makeup in a new environment. I think sometimes when we're just used to pulling out the same old makeup bag, all the same products, sometimes just taking the makeup into a new environment will re-inspire us. And that doesn't even just go for a new makeup bag. Try doing your makeup in a new space. If you are always doing your makeup like in the parking lot at work, try waking up a little bit earlier and maybe like sitting outside and doing your makeup and see how that feels. I know we can't do it all the time, but I really think that trying to do our makeup in a new spot really can just bring a bit of like spontaneity to a routine and just give us a new set of eyes potentially. I really love doing my makeup outside whenever I can. It is so nice. Like for example, if you know that like you're gonna go take your dog for a walk, maybe like sit on the bench for 10 minutes and do your makeup outside and just see how it feels. This next tip I think is kind of underrated. The next time you do your makeup, try taking a before and after. I always take pictures of like my completed looks. I'm not really taking pictures of my face before I have the makeup on, but part of makeup is the transformative process, is that before and after, or even take steps of each part of your makeup routine. Being able to have these touchstones for the way a look kind of comes together for you will give you a better insight into how your makeup collection is working with you, and maybe even the ways in which your makeup collection isn't working for you. If you're like, wow, I really love the way my eyes came together, but the minute I put on that lip, something just felt off, you'll be able to kind of find those moments, or potentially you'll just start to appreciate the transformation at the end. Now, this next tip definitely helps with just like a makeup in general rut, as well as a rut you might have with your own makeup collection. Swap makeup bags with a friend. Definitely make sure you're like, not passing around cooties, but here's the thing. Being able to take a new makeup bag, use all of the makeup that a friend might have, it is so underrated, you guys. Like, I love seeing my friends' makeup bags, and I just love to see what they have their fingers in. But I think even more than that, especially when I go to see my sister, oftentimes I'll like realize that I forgot XYZ product. I'll go and use hers, and it's always a fun experience to try something new without having to go out and buy it. Swapping makeup bags, I think, is so fun. And also, not just swapping makeup bags, but my next tip is literally have someone else do your makeup for you for once. We're always doing our own makeup, right? It is so fun and feels so pampering and relaxing to have someone else do your makeup for you. We can't always do this, but the next time you have a little bit of time before you like go out with a friend potentially, be like, hey, come over, let's do each other's makeup. You can still use your own products, just see how they use them. It's really fun to see the way someone comes at a new canvas with the same product. You would be surprised at how different the looks can really come across. And it'll give you some more ideas on how you can use the products that you already have. I highly, highly recommend doing this. And here's the thing, you don't need to be the best makeup artist in order to do this. It can just be for fun. It can literally just be an experiment. Like, and that's another thing maybe about like makeup in general, art, really, you can talk about like this in so many different creative wavelengths. Let go of the feeling like every time you need to do your makeup, it needs to be perfect. Let go of the feeling that makeup needs to serve a specific purpose every time you do it. So for example, I think something that we all talk about a lot is how makeup can really give us confidence. I just wonder if we can start to look at makeup in another way. Today, I'm not worried about looking pretty. Today, I want to experiment with a new glitter and see how it looks on the lips, how it looks mixed into a new product. Like, don't be afraid to look a little bit bizarre or weird at the end and just focus on the play of it. Hannah Louise Poston talks about this a lot. She talks about like her makeup play times. And I think that that is so integral to makeup in a sense that like we don't need to be doing our makeup with the set goal of it being a look every single time. It can just more so be kind of this practice. Maybe one piece of the look will be something that you can pull out and use for next time. It can more so just be about the exploratory process of it all. I think another great way of becoming re-inspired by the makeup collection that you already have, and I know this seems counterintuitive, but finding those missing areas of your collection that you actually do feel need to be filled. Because oftentimes when we add just a couple of new makeup items into our collection, sometimes it can be the building block that puts all of the other makeup items together to really feel like a cohesive makeup bag. And I do want to do an upcoming video on how to create your own capsule makeup bag. So if you're interested in that video, definitely make sure you let me know down below and give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you're subscribed so that you see it come out. But I think kind of getting your hands into the entire collection and noticing the items that feel like supporting roles to another item that you're missing could potentially be really eye-opening. Now, an example of this that I would give you is, let's say you have, these are just right in front of me because I just did my eye look, but let's say that you have a couple of liquid glitter shadows. You know, you bought a liquid glitter shadow one day for like New Year's Eve, and then it's been sitting in your makeup bag and you're just like, it's sitting here. Why does it feel like I'm not getting a lot of use out of it? Product that immediately I think of personally when it comes to glitter shadows for the eyes. I mean, I love a glitter on its own, but I think framing a glitter completely changes the game. You can frame a glitter on the eyes in a couple of different ways. If you don't have like just a very rich matte black liner, this completely changes an entire look and gives you a framework from which to work. What am I saying? Let's say you've been buying, you know, single eyeshadows for a while and you love a one and done eyeshadow look, but you don't necessarily have a neutrals palette that you feel like you can go back to. Sometimes it ends up being that we have these kind of like, ooh, like sparkly, literally and figuratively, like sparkly kind of items within our makeup bag, but we don't necessarily have the basics down to support them. My last tip would be, and this is like so basic, but I really find that it helps me in a pinch. Whether it's Instagram, Pinterest, start saving posts that really inspire you. Start saving YouTube videos that really inspire you. The videos that bring you joy and make you feel more inspired by the makeup. Create a little folder that you can always go back to those looks, because sometimes you just need that kind of quick fix to a makeup rut. Just, you know, I love that they used this product in a new way. I want to see how I can do that next time. I do this all the time with like recipes. For me, it's not even necessarily that I'm going to go ahead on Instagram and like completely recreate an Instagram recipe. It's more so like, yeah, I have been wanting to try incorporating like artichokes into a salad. It's more about the general concepts that we're trying to work out in our brains. Like I said, hopefully some of these tips are really helpful for you guys, or hopefully in general just bringing out this video to you all made you feel a little bit more inspired, made you feel inspired to look at the makeup you already had, made you feel inspired to just do a new look. Either way, I hope it was fun. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe before you go, especially if you want to see that capsule makeup bag video. And I will see you all in my next one.